years on the making of you.
Hey guys, so for today's video, I wanted to just kind of sit down and do kind of like a chill, chit-chatty type of video. I thought it just would be fun to kind of go through this past year of fashion shows with you guys, since I have a bunch of stuff that I had not shown you guys from the previous fashion shows I've done. But before we get into that, I just want to thank you guys so much for subscribing. I've gotten tons of new subscribers to my channel based off of this video that I did like a while ago that's really taking off and is getting a lot of traction, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to hit the subscribe button and like. So the two fashion shows I did this year were the Memphis Fashion Week, which is the one that I kind of do all the time, or these past few years I've done, and the second one is a new one to me, which is the Trashion show. It's organized by a local nonprofit that focuses on like recycling and making our city beautiful or cleaning it up. So they want to do a show where we use recycled materials to create our garments, and it's just kind of like a really fun thing to kind of raise awareness about, telling people to be mindful of recycling and things like that. So that was another one that I decided to participate in earlier in the year. So we're going to first start off with the Memphis Fashion Week, which is kind of like the main fashion show that this is the one I spent like 6 months getting my garments ready for. It's kind of like the big one for me, which I love this show. This is the first fashion show that I had ever done, not this past year, but this organization of shows is one of the first ones I've done before. So I put on the screen my sketches in case you guys have not seen it. This was the sketches I submitted to get into the show. So we're going to kind of fast forward to the week of the show because it's a whole bunch of different things that happened in between, and I've kind of just, we'll just skip over that. I don't even think you guys are that interested in all the little technicalities. But the first event we went to was the VIP preview party, and this is basically a party where all the VIP ticket holders, the people who are donating to the organization that hosts the shows, the stylists, the runway models, the designers, we all get to kind of come around, and obviously everybody gets to kind of bring people that, close to them and stuff like that. We all get to kind of hang around and chill and have fun, get to know each other right before all the fashion show and all the craziness starts and stuff like that. And it's really cool because we also get a peek at our designs on actual models. This will be the first time we get to see them on actual models. We have these freeze models, and basically they come out and they freeze, which is, I think it's a real cool talent in itself, because I don't know, I would be laughing every time somebody came by me to take a picture, because every time I get nervous I laugh, but I'm getting off topic. But yeah, we had the freeze models and stuff like that. I'll insert some of the pictures I took of some of the freeze models, and this is a picture of my model when they brought out my garments. And in this specific picture, it's not styled correctly how I wanted it to be on the runway show, but I wasn't in the back, I wasn't like micromanaging everything, so it just put it on how they thought it should went. But that's just kind of the way it was, but you'll see in later on pictures how it went down the runway. The show was really, really nice. It was like a huge turnout, like one of the biggest turnouts I've seen in a while for the show. And it was cool because they hosted the show in this building that hadn't been reopened yet. It was kind of like one of the first big events there. So it was kind of cool to be doing something, and it was kind of like an industrial building. It was just like very artsy vibes going on. So the next day, I had to be up bright and early at about 8 o'clock in the morning because I had to be where our fashion show was going to be for the day and get there with my garments and work on fitting with the models, talk about hair and makeup and things like that. So later on in the day, we came back. I'm pretty much there from like 8 in the morning to about like 10 that night to the show. I got to leave for like a period of time. I say maybe about 3 hours because I had some issues with fitting. But I had about 3 hours to come home and get dressed and all of that jazz and stuff like that. But for the most part, you're there. So once I got back, we were taking photos of our garments or on the models and stuff like that before the show, because after the show it's just hectic and everybody's ready to go home, so we do all this beforehand. And we had the most amazing photographer. I'm talking about amazing. Like, she isn't just pointing the camera and taking pictures. She's very good at composing photos and kind of telling you where to turn your body slightly and kind of helping you out, which is really good, especially for somebody like me who isn't like a professional model. And I really don't know what to do, especially when they want you to get in the pictures with the models. And I'm just kind of like, can y'all not try to look like models next to me? Kind of like y'all know y'all angles and your poses. And she's really, really good. And I was really, really comfortable with her. Like, she's just awesome. So I kind of did a couple of behind the scenes of some of the pictures she was taking, and she just was doing like some magical things. But I'll post on the picture some of the finished pictures that she gave of my designs, which just turned out amazing. Her editing and just the way she made us look was just amazing. So after that, we had like a bit of a break to just chill before the show started and stuff like that. And I met the most great, like the best group of little friends that I had in a while, and it was just really nice to be around them and really, really cool to just kind of chill with them. And we had like this impromptu just photo shoot around the location, so we had all types of doing all different poses and stuff like that. It was really fun getting to meet them and hang out with them. They definitely made the time pass, and I'm glad that they're going to be trying to participate in the show this year as for next year as well. And after that, the show was over. They got to pick the winners, and they announced the winners. And I was actually the winner of the teen category, and there was 3 categories in total. So that was really, really exciting. I got to be kind of like a celebrity for about a good 15 minutes. I'm talking about people walking up to me, taking my picture. You know, I got featured on some local blogs. I even got written up in this article for this news. This sort of like small news company around town, and they did the writer did like the most amazing like workup of me. He just made me sound like I was just the most like sophisticated person, like the most just established artist, and it was just really, really cool to have my name in some black and white print. So I'll leave the article down below if you guys want to check it out and read it. It was very, very well written and stuff like that. So that was pretty much the end of that week of that show. You know, obviously I'm keeping in touch with all the different people that was a part of the show, because we're doing all types of different little stuff. Moving on to about a month or so later, I say about 2 months or a month and a half later, the Trashion show, which this show was, I'll be honest with you guys, was not my favorite show. I'm not saying it, the organization of the show was perfectly fine as far as how things went. The show itself was fine. I'm talking about as far as like my abilities and the making of the garments. I did not realize it's so different to make garments out of materials that are not fabric, and I only ever worked with fabric, and it was just so, I couldn't, since it was something I had not done before, it was very, very difficult for me to get my ideas down to the actual garment, because the problem with working with recycled materials is that you don't really know how you're going to get it on or off the model, or at least I didn't. So it's kind of difficult trying to design something, but it also has to be able to actually be worn. And it was just kind of a difficult process. And in the end, I think my designs were cute. They weren't like my most favorite thing that I've ever done. They definitely looked kind of kiddish, and I felt like it was just more of like a fun thing. I was having a difficult time making something really elegant or professional and things like that, so I really did it as kind of have fun. And I had my two amazing cousins be my models, so they were looking extra cute. We did like some fun stuff with the hair and stuff as well, and I would have some video of just everybody's different designs walking down the runway. Like, some people went above and beyond, like this is their thing. They work with recycled materials all the time, so this was like a knockout in the park for them. Like, this was no sweat for them, and I was kind of like, yo, can I just have some fabric? Can I please just get some fabric in a sewing machine? And I couldn't sew half the stuff. So it was definitely a challenge for me. But this year, I definitely want to try it again. And I want to approach it in a different way now that I've done it before. And I really want to try to make something that I'm really, really proud of. But I really enjoyed the show because I was actually able to have models that, like I said, are my cousins. I know them. So anytime I'm with them, I'm having a blast and it's fun. So just meeting and talking with them, and them being nervous and me being nervous, and you know they're your family members, so they're hyping you up and I'm hyping them up. I'm like, y'all got this, you can walk in them shoes, your walk is cute and stuff. So it was just really, really fun to be able to do something with my family and kind of sharing something that I'm passionate about with my family members as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoy my content, and leave a comment with any questions or thoughts or opinions you may have had on the designs or just anything in general. I'm always open to have a conversation with you guys, and I do respond to my comments, so feel free to leave one down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and be on the lookout for my next video.